Hello, Aries. Welcome to your 2024 tarot reading. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're doing good. We're going to dive right into your reading. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. I really want to expand the channel this year. This is one of my goals. I want to reach as many people as I can and show up more regularly also. I know I've been very up and down with the uploading, but I'm working on that. So thank you for your patience, your support. I'm going to be picking one of the major cards and an oracle card to set the tone, and then we're going to be doing your tarot reading. So, okay, Aries, what is the general energy for the Aries collective in 2024? Wow, 2024 for Aries. Okay, what do we have here? The Magician is your general energy. How cool is that? Okay, I love it. So yes, a new beginning. It could be that celebrating this new year for you creates this mark in your mind, and you're like, this is it. This is my year. You know what? I usually don't obsess over goals. I usually don't obsess over resolution, but this is my year. I want change. I want to create something new. I want to dedicate my time and energy to something specific. Also, there could be a lot of, unknown. Like, I want to focus on becoming a truer version of myself, a better version of myself. I don't really know where to start. But with the Magician, I know that all the tools you need are infinitely at your disposal, which is such an important message when it comes to the Magician. When you pick this card, know that whatever you need, you already have. And sometimes we don't want to hear that. Sometimes we just want that external validation. We want more. But there's something that you already have within you that wants to expand. It wants to get in the driver's seat in 2024. Okay, let's pick an oracle card from the deck of Sacred Rhythms for Aries. Oh, okay. We have Afterglow. Don't underestimate the positive impact you have on others. Assess, connect, and dedicate. Amazing. So I love the light catcher on this card and just this little light. It reminds me a little bit of, our inner flame, which is a big theme of 2024. We all have different inner flame. We all have different energy level, but there is something here, again, that's already within you. And it's going to be shining through this year. It could be a talent. It could be that someone finally notices something in you and it becomes, again, just this big theme this year. I think there's an element of surprise, and there's something about self-discovery, discovering that, wow, you had it all along. You were already good at this thing, and you just needed to invest a little bit more time and maybe start believing that you can doing. So since the Magician is connected to Mercury, to the planet Mercury, I think this is about your perspective. There's like this switch in perspective, like, you know what? I can actually do this. I could be a positive influence for others. And maybe this is not your goal. But again, this light within, which I know it sounds cheesy, but I don't care. This light within, it will shine through. It will help you connect with more people, and you will be seen. It's like this truer version of yourself will be seen by others. It's not just you. Okay, I'm excited. Let's start this reading. Aries. Aries, what do we need to know? The beginning of the year. Three of Swords. Okay, so it requires courage. This card is the Sacred Heart. I know a lot of people fear the imagery. I totally get that. Personally, this card is like my favorite image in the tarot. There's going to be inevitably, like, uncomfortable conversation coming through from this card. So the goal is to take the sword out, heal the wound properly, address things that we've been avoiding, and that's going to be a huge release for you. Again, is it comfortable? Not really. But there is something about your dedication this year. How dedicated you are to growing, and you know that's going to require uncomfortable moments, maybe again conversation, some sacrifices. Everything is aligned for you to get where you want to be, to prove to yourself that you can accomplish anything. I think this is going to be one of the big themes this year for you. So 3 of Swords, the Sacred Heart. I know this is not going to be easy. I know this is going to be requiring so much from me, but I'm willing to do it. And the Death card is here. This is it. This is a confirmation that you are transforming in the deepest, deepest way. There are some things, Aries, that maybe you've been avoiding for years and years now, and now there's going to be the opportunity to heal the wounds. It could be that someone is finally apologizing. Someone is finally telling you the truth about a situation. It's like you're getting what you deserve when it comes to energy. Something felt very unbalanced and unfair. And what I'm getting here is that there could have been unfinished business with someone. It could be anyone, really. And you're able to finally get the release. It helps you forgive. Doesn't mean you're going to forget, but it helps you forgive yourself, forgive someone else, and really move on. To not hold any type of grudge, or not spend the year with this massive weight and maybe this anger, this buildup of anger that you have. There's something here with the 3 of Swords being the first card. There's something that you've been carrying around, or someone that's been living rent-free in your mind for a while now. This is the year where you heal, you forgive, you move on truly, which I'm sensing that there could be resistance still around that. Maybe you're thinking, I don't know if it's possible, or you're like, oh, I've moved on a while ago. Yeah, I think there could be an element of surprise. Again, receiving some type of apology, or receiving this exchange here is going to wake up something in you. I think you're going to realize, okay, I still had a lot of work to do. I still needed some type of answer. Now I'm getting it. 7 of Pentacles. This card is a lot about making mistakes. This is a card that's been showing up in my practice constantly in the past few weeks. A big central card for me in 2024. So I'm starting to really get what it means. And again, it's about making mistakes. And sometimes we are supposed to fuck up. I'm trying not to swear too much, but this is how it wants to come through. Sometimes we're supposed to. It's part of our trajectory. And obviously, we're going to be very hard on ourselves. Obviously, no one likes to fail. No one likes to make mistakes. There's so much feelings coming up to the surface when we make a bad decision, or we do something that we regret, or we kind of fall off track from our goals and our values also. It's part of this journey. So this forgiving energy is not just about a connection. I think it's also with you. And I've talked about that in the Capricorn reading, but it's also coming through with you guys. Finding your authentic rhythm with your healing journey, with, growth, and also when it comes to your goals and what you want to accomplish and where you are in life. I think there's something about finding your authentic rhythm. What areas of my life have I been pushing so hard, but actually I don't need to. I don't need to prove myself so much. I don't need to do this extra amount of work to prove that I'm good enough. You know, this is just an example, but I feel like there's something a little bit unfair when it comes to how much you've been giving and how much you received in a specific area of your life. It could definitely be at work or in your relationship. So Seven of Pentacles invites you to honor the mistakes that you're making, to remember that it's an essential part of growth, of your journey, and of finding and achieving balance. How do you want to find balance if you never make a mistake? You're not balancing the scales if you're always doing the right thing. There's no balance here. Okay, tell me more. Tell me more for Aries. Two of Cups, yeah. The year of self-love. The year of showing more compassion to ourselves. And look at that. The Four of Wands is at the heart of your reading. On the clock, 11:11. The second I picked this card, this is crazy. So 11:11 could be a big sign for you this year from your guides. By the way, I think 11:11 on the clock is always some type of special sign. But here it's coming up very strongly. So Two of Cups is my card of self-love. Because to be able to open up like that, and you see here, there's a gentle touch. There's a soft opening. It's very careful. No one is rushing towards each other. No one is forcing the energy. It's so soft and, again, careful. So it has to come from self-love first. Always, always, always. There's something here. It's like you are discovering something about yourself. Discovering some type of magic, beauty, or something that you never gave yourself credit for in the past. And now it's becoming very central, very important in your life. It could also be, again, this talent or this thing you're good at that's going to be celebrated throughout the year. It's helping you be more confident and believe in yourself a little bit more and believe in the magic a little bit more. Four of Wands is so magical. It is also a very balanced and perfect energy. Nothing is perfect in life except sacred geometry. But the Four of Wands in the tarot is the closest we have to perfection. Because it is Mars and Venus, the Emperor and the Empress, it's salt and sulfur, it's yin and yang, and it's all of this. There's something, it's like joy is contained and now it just wants to shine through. I don't know, it's like and there's so much that wants to come through right now. There's a secret that's been very well kept, and now it's just coming out and surprising everyone. And this is the best way I can explain what I'm feeling right now. But I think you're going to have to give yourself the time to discover what it means. Because the future isn't fixed. I don't have all the answer. I don't want all the answers. God, no. And this is a mirror. It helps us see what is present. The tarot is a mirror, but I think we need to remember that the readings are helping us prepare for what's to come. And again, the message I got was something has been contained. Beauty, sweetness, magic has been contained, and now it wants to burst through. Look at that. We have Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Three of Wands. So we had 1111, we have 333, which is my favorite angel number. This number says, trust what comes next. You're not supposed to know exactly what comes next. You're supposed to focus on what you have control over in the present moment, which is the next step you're taking. And this is an important message, and I'm probably going to talk about that in all the readings because I keep getting questions, especially right now. I keep, getting emails and messages about that. Like, how can I take care of myself and not feel selfish about it when there's so much happening around the world? How can I kind of give value to taking care of myself? Because it's very hard right now. We're trying to become truer, better version of ourselves, and then we see on the news everything that's happening and we're like, wow, does it really matter? Like my spiritual growth and all of this? And yes, because what we have control over is how we take care of ourselves. And then becoming truer version of ourselves, we can show up in the world and serve in a better way. We can now make a difference, but the work starts within. When you give advice, when you have a conversation, when you listen to someone, when you help someone, when you serve. For the ones of us who have clients, work with clients one-on-one, the more we take care of ourselves, the more we live the freaking life, living experiences and failing and challenges and heartbreaks and the wins and celebrations, experiencing all of that, it really works as an echo after, because we can show up in the world, again, being truer version of ourselves. We can really have a more positive impact. So don't underestimate the work you're doing and don't think it's selfish. 3 of Pentacles is work in progress. You are a work in progress. We are all work in progress. The moment you're saying, I know it all, I've seen it all, and I don't have more growth, this is the moment you fail. This is the moment you fail. And I hear that a lot. Trust me, that's why I'm mentioning it. You have no idea how many comments I see, people saying, I already know all of this. I've already done the healing and all of the spiritual work and the soul work. You're never done healing. And the moment you think you're done healing, you're done growing and learning, this is a huge, huge fail. You're kind of hitting a wall. You are never done healing. And again, as I mentioned, there's something about authentic rhythm, about finding our own rhythm with healing. Just like nature, we're very connected to nature. Sometimes you're going to be in a winter season of your life. Nothing's going to happen. The work is going to be internal. You're going to be focusing on, internal things and uncomfortable things. And sometimes it's a spring season. You're going to be flourishing and people are going to hear you and you're going to be interacting with a bunch of people. I think we have to learn to respect our rhythms more. Humans, we're not supposed to thrive all year, all the time. We're not supposed to be happy all the time. We're not supposed to just, again, be done with healing. Every day, make it a challenge to learn something new. Either learn something new about yourself or learning something new about the world, about psychology, about history, about anything. I think that there is something very important for you this year about that. And when we learn to move, with that authentic rhythm, when we get in tune with that a little bit more, we can have so much more compassion for ourselves when, again, we are in a winter season of our lives. Like nothing's happening. I'm not inspired. I have writer's block. I don't feel energized. Okay, so maybe right now I need to go back to the roots. Maybe right now I need to do different things and learn more on a specific subject. And actually live the life so eventually I can share that with other people. If you are a spiritual worker, we need times when we are living life. when we are reading books, listening to podcasts, making mistakes and learning from that, journaling, meditating. We need those moments to be able to share that experience after, to re-energize and recharge, because it takes so much of ourselves, to help others. It's a lot of pressure. So there's something about control here. Acceptance when it comes to the things that you cannot control. And focus and dedication when it comes to the things that you have control over. And there's not much that we have control over. Again, how are you treating others? What are the decisions that you make in the morning, which is super important for Aries, because you guys are son of the morning. Aries being the first sign of the zodiac wheel, very connected to the morning, to the first hours of the day. What are you doing the first hour of you waking up? Think about that. This is something I told you guys many, many times, and it's something I really work on constantly. Making sure that the first hour I'm awake, I'm not on social media. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm definitely not reading emails. And I'm doing something that makes me feel good. Something that's gonna benefit me throughout the day. And this is something I have control over. I have control over not touching my phone for the first hour. Sometimes it's uncomfortable and sometimes I don't want to do it, but I know that, again, if I focus and I do my best when it comes to what I have control over, everything is gonna flow so much more beautifully. And we have the 5 of Cups. It came in the reverse, but I don't read reversal for this reading. So 5 of Cups is a card of grief. What comes up for me as I'm seeing this card is sometimes we figure out how much we love something or someone when we lose them or when they're not there anymore, which I don't know why this is coming up, but it could be an important message for someone. I don't know if this is about a person. I think this could be about taking a break of something for a while and realizing, I really miss this. Actually, I want this in my life. Let's say you've been working on something specific for work, or you've been trying a new hobby, or there's something in your life that you've been doing for a long time and you're getting bored of it. I think there could be a long pause. And it's like, I'm pausing to come back in a healthier way and to remember how much I love doing this. So has there been pressure at work? Or again, if there's a specific hobby and people are saying, you should make money with this. You should push through. You should focus on that. And you're like, okay, it's starting to be a job for me. And actually, this was something I was passionate about in the first place. Let me take a moment and distance myself from this energy. And sometimes, again, when we don't have something in our lives, we realize how much we miss it. And then I think you can come back in a better way. This is like a kind of a specific message, so I don't know if it's going to resonate for everyone, but it's interesting. It's not that you're giving up. You're giving yourself the time to really think and really feel. Do I want this in my life? The goals that I have around this specific thing, is it about me? Is it aligned with my values and what I want? Or was I just, not inspired, but influenced by what others said? I don't know. It feels like there's this narrative that kept that just won't stop. Like, no, Aries, you're good at this. This is what you're supposed to do. Come on, you're the best. Push. And then you're like, okay, that's becoming too much for me. So usually I don't connect with the 5 of Cups in that way. Again, this card to me is about grief, but now it's really about taking a step back to better determine how you want to do this and if you still want to do it in the future. Oh, and the Empress is here. The Empress is here, so this is beautiful. Another 3. Look, you have 3, 3, 3, 3. So 3 is a very important number, angel number for you this year. And you know, everyone has different opinion when it comes to angel numbers. Totally valid if you don't believe, if you don't care. And it's not a science, you know, I'm a very rational person. I know that there's not necessarily a clear message and a definitive thing about numbers. I choose to believe that. You know, it's something I choose to believe in. It brings me comfort. It's weirdly aligned with so many things that happen in my life, but I choose to believe. Just like tarot. I choose to believe that there's support here, that the cards are bringing messages. I choose to believe that source, my guides, God, all this is protecting me constantly. This is a decision I have to make every day of my life, you know? It's not just, again, this scientific thing and this proven real thing. I choose to believe. This is something I keep repeating, but it's so important for me to remind people that I'm not forcing my beliefs on anyone. I'm just making space for sweetness and for magic, you know? So the Empress is here. The Empress is all about receiving. So receiving lessons, I don't know why lessons is coming through. Receiving sweetness, abundance, all of those things. And not only that, but you are ready. You are open to receive those things. And that could be because you're making space for it. There could be, again, things that you decide, I don't have time to do that this year or this month because I want to make space for other things. I want to give myself the opportunity to discover something new. So I don't want to pressure myself into doing too much of something that I'm not even sure I like anymore. Okay, let's take another tarot deck, and I want to dive deeper. I want to know what the 4 of Wands is inviting Aries to do. What is the 4 of Wands invitation for Aries? Because it's at the heart of the reading. It's a very important card. What is the invitation of the 4 of Wands for Aries? We have Temperance. Okay. Becoming the alchemist of your life. Getting vulnerable when needed. Being honest when needed. And staying focused on something. Temperance card to me is a very lucky card, but it's also a card of dedication. You know, when you think about the sign of Sagittarius, which is connected to that card, it's about the arrow, embodying the arrow. So making sure that, again, the things that you have control over, the decisions that you make on a daily basis, is it aligned with your goals? Even if your goals are not so clear. Even if your goal is just to be happy this year, or to have more fun, or to be less stress. Are your actions aligned? Because again, you are the alchemist of your life. So becoming the alchemist of your life, to me, it really means that we're mixing all different things. Vulnerability and sweetness, magic, honesty. Mixing all of that. The good, the bad, the ugly. And this is a card that is very connected to fire, of course. You guys are fire signs. The Aries energy is the first light, the birth, literally the birth is associated to the sign of Aries because it's the new beginning, the ultimate new beginning. And you guys really have this luck. I feel it's luck. This is the word I'm choosing to use, but you have this chance, this opportunity to reinvent yourself all the time, being again the first sign of the zodiac wheel. And you guys are so determined and so powerful, but sometimes you tend to forget that. So again, it's okay. It's okay to have a bad day. It's part of this journey. And I think that there's so much acceptance here when it comes to the timing of things. There could also be a celebration when it comes to, oh my goodness, I realized that this very challenging year or this very challenging time in my life brought me to this new opportunity. It brought me to this space of happiness and comfort and self-discovery. Celebration is at the heart of this year for you. Celebration, it doesn't always look like a freaking birthday cake and, happiness and joy and butterflies and rainbows. Celebration sometimes is also celebrating the mistakes and celebrating ourselves in all way, which Two of Cups is very connected to. Again, Two of Cups is the self-love card. Learning to accept parts of ourselves that are so hard to love. Learning to give ourselves the credit when it's due, or learning to be more compassionate when we make mistakes, when we derail from our path, our goal. So all of this, again, being the alchemist of your life, what does that mean for you? There's this sense of control, and that's why the Magician was your general theme. Every time you're judging yourself and anytime you feel stuck, I think there's going to be this wave, this moment in your brain and your nervous system, and you're like, I have control right now. Let me do something different. Let me try something instead of complaining, instead of judging myself and other, instead of projecting. I'm not a victim. I am the magician here. I am the alchemist. So everything you've been through and the pain and all of that, all the feelings are valid. But again, you're not a victim. You are the alchemist. It is your job. It is your job to focus on what you have control over. Is there a clear message from my guides for Aries? And we have the Seven of Coins again. So the Seven of Coins came through, as I mentioned, making mistakes. And I think this card confirms that your patience is going to be tested many, many times. It could be through your relationship with other people. It could be that there's going to be moments where you're waiting for something. The sevens in the tarot are about needing something external, They're very connected to this realization that we don't need validation, that sometimes we feel like a problem is external. We project, we point fingers, but actually the work is internal. And the Seven of Pentacles speaks a lot about that. And this is a theme that's coming up a lot in your reading, Aries. It could be, especially with the Three of Swords as the first card, this thing that you're healing early this year, this conversation or this information you're getting, I think it's going to help you realize again that a problem wasn't external, that there was something internal that needed to be addressed. And you're just going to keep doing the work constantly. Again, healing is never over. We're never going to get to a point where it's just like, wow, I don't have anything to heal and everything is perfect and flowy. I think we're learning to work with fear and hold its hand, instead of pushing it away. Instead of avoiding difficult conversation, we are seeing the value in that. And the Empress can speak of that, What is the value of change? What is the value of vulnerability and getting uncomfortable? And the value of waiting? Again, it's not about you being a victim. If there's something that you want and it takes years to show up in your life, make sure that you're not talking about yourself like you're a victim of time and circumstances, because you're not. Everything happens in its right timing. I don't believe necessarily that everything happens for a reason. I'm comfortable with that saying, because there's so much unfair things and ugliness happening in the world. So it's not that everything happens for a reason, but I truly believe that the timing of things is important for you this year, and also your relationship with, again, the rhythm and the timing and the seasons of your life. You're going to become a master at being more compassionate, more patient with yourself and others. And you might feel like this is not important, Your thinking mind, your nervous system maybe is like, I want to know if I'm going to get more cash. I'm going to know if I'm going to fall in love. I want to know exactly this and that. But the important work is internal. Before you get to that place, you cannot, need and request so much from the universe. I think that you still need to focus on the internal work, as we all do. Again, this is not just Aries, this is everyone. So this is very interesting. It's like you're proving something to yourself this year, and it's just about you. And while this relationship with yourself is solidifying, it's like everything around you becomes clearer. The things that used to cause you so much pain and stress, it's becoming easier to carry and easier to deal with, and even talk about it and share it with others. Letting your light shine through. And again, don't underestimate the positive impact you have on others. And the word dedicate is here. So again, your dedication. This is a big word for you. I think this could be, for a lot of you, the word of the year. And if you have a word, please let me know in the comments. I love to, journal about those words. And I have my word for the year, and I think everyone should find a word either to focus on. But yeah, let me know. So Aries, I'm sending love. Thank you so much for always showing up, being so kind, so generous, so open and receptive. If you know another Aries or someone who connects with the energy of Aries, send them the video, send them my channel. If there's anyone in your life that could benefit from a little bit of soul medicine and my readings, I really invite you to share my channel. I want to expand the family. I want to help more people, and I want to connect with you guys even more this year. So thank you again for your patience and support. Happy New Year. I cannot wait to navigate this whole year with you. So I'll talk to you guys very, very soon, Aries.